What it is, guys, it's your old boy Pilk, and I'm coming back at y'all with more Danmachi. Now, today, we are going to be talking about Familia Rush, okay? I know this went live last night, but those of you that were able to make it to what little stream we had, no, I was having some ISP issues, so I wasn't able to get much of anything out last night. But this is actually pretty worth talking about. So, what we've got, we are on round 2 still. And we are currently in our bonus time, so let's knock this out of the park. So, right now, we are going to talk about, first of all, if you want to talk about round 1. Round 1 is Fells and a bunch of little ghouls. Fells removes magic buffs. Allies, all her allies get physical resist plus 20, and she does magic attacks. All the mobs around her, they debuff physical resist, debuff your physical resistance, 20%, and do physical attacks. Okay, on level 1, the first level with Fells and the ghouls, it is Earth 0, Dark minus 10%, so Dark has a pretty significant advantage. Light plus 60%, so Light is utterly useless. Wind, Water, Fire, Thunder plus 30, Physical plus 40, and Magic 0%. So basically, it's not necessarily stacked for magic, it's just stacked heavily against physical. Now, I'm going to show you all the team I'm using and why I think physical actually could work. Okay? Now, round 2, which we're right here at the end of. In fact, it might be done before I get back in there. I'll go out and go back in, so I might knock this out. It is Tione and 2 of these skeleton warriors. Tione does strength and magic buff to all of her allies, debuffs you 15% for strength and magic, so both those stats go down, and she does magic attack. The skeleton warriors, they do self-physical buffs, they do 20% physical buff, and they do physical attacks, so they're pretty easy. Tione definitely is kind of the pain in that one. Resistance is almost identical. It is Earth minus 10%, Dark 0%, so that's the only real difference. Light 60, so again, Light's useless. Wind, Fire, Water, Thunder are all 30%, and it's plus 40% for physical and 0% for magic. Okay, the third round, the round we actually might get into, is the main boss of it. It's that usual skeleton ghoul creature. She debuffs magic and magic resistance 20%. She buffs her own magic and earth resistance 20%. Removes magic buffs and does an AoE attack, which is a magic attack. So she's pretty hardcore. Her resistance is Earth minus 40, Dark minus 40, Light 60, Wind, Water, Fire, and Thunder 30, plus 30, and Physical plus 50, Magic minus 20. So for her, actually, you would almost need a magic team. Okay? Let's go back in here and see if anybody's beaten that thing yet. Not quite yet. So I'm going to go ahead and take my shot at it. And I'll show you the team that I'm using. It is not a predominantly magic team, but I'll show you why I've got it. Now, if there's one thing on this team I would really kind of like to change, I really wish I had the casino seer, because she does, when she's level 60, she will do 66% SA increase. And when she's MLB'd, she'll do 100% SA increase. Now, you'll see I do have Line on here, and she will actually, or Line as some people call her. I'm pretty sure it's Line. It's a Japanese game, so I'm guessing. She does Enlightenment 33%. So that will increase the SA gauge across all my units 33%. Because the other one is an assist, they would actually compound. So that would have been huge to at least have the 60% if I had her on here. Now, I do have her outfitted with that new retreat anklet. So after this first turn, she's gone. Okay? I'm going to go and do Jolts and Hero Rising. And I'm going to do her middle one, which increases Tione's SA gauge increase 100%. Now, she's my only magic unit, so she's the one that's going to be doing the most damage up to a certain point. Okay, so now that turn 1 is over, I actually have Haruhime coming in, and I'm going to go ahead and do her middle attack. I'm going to do this, and this, and then that. And that basically, I'm going to get their counters up, their counter rate up, and then that's going to basically help them in that regard. In fact, I'm going to go and do this for this turn because that'll keep those debuffs in play. So we don't need to worry about that too much. All the debuffs stay in place. So bada bing, bada boom. Strength, magic, and agility are all up decent percentage. Now I'm going to do hers +2, and I'm basically going to keep spamming these two because they are super level attacks. They are going to hit very, very hard. Now, normally this would be good because they're AoEs. Right now it's not mandatory, but you'll see kind of my tactic here. All right, so we're going to do that this turn. Haruhime is going to do her major buff, do a heal, and we will be set on that. Okay. Now, I do have one super attack. If I had Seer, I would have had that super attack last turn, and I could have used that on Haruhime. And then Haruhime would increase magic and physical 100% across the board, and that would have been super helpful. But I don't have that, so I'm going to basically only get 2 super attacks. So because of that, I'm going to use them wisely. That's why I used Line in the beginning, and then I keep all of those buffs in play. Those buffs stay in play the whole damn turn. Okay? In fact, I don't think anybody actually will take those buffs away. No one I've faced yet will actually do it, so I don't think the boss will do it, but we'll double check that when we get to her. And we should be to her on this one. So I'm going to keep everything there in play, and this is basically going to continue on to the end of the game. Okay? After Haruhime does his buff this turn, everything's going to be solid to the end, so we're just going to do attacks with her now. Okay? I know it's a debuff, but it's not really that important because basically at this juncture, all the buffs and debuffs we have in play are going to stay in play enough turns that we don't need to worry about that. So, yeah, nothing's expiring. Okay? So all we're doing now with her is we're just attacking, building that SA gauge. Okay? So we have the SA gauge on turn 6. I'm going to go ahead and get that attack off here. All right, there we go. And this is going to kind of be important because this is the main thing I was aiming for. Because even though they do have a decent amount of physical resistance, I've reduced their physical resistance a lot. And on top of that, so I reduced their physical resistance both with attacking debuffs and with assists that do physical resistance. So I'll show you his stats one more time after this, and we'll talk about why this is beneficial. But doing this combo attack is going to allow me to do as much damage as my other magics would, because frankly my magic team is garbage. So if your magic team is crap like mine is, this will help you out drastically. It does require that you have Krazo and Argonaut MLB'd, and it does kind of require that you have Haruhime or someone else that increase buffs like that. But there we go. Good amount of damage. Not crazy. Mind you, they're not doing crazy things. They're just kind of existing. All right? So you'll notice that his magic resistance is down 50%. His attack resistance is still up 25%. So we're still not doing as much damage as we could, but it's kind of the best possible scenario we've got right now. So there's that. And we're going to move on. Let's see what our score was. Ooh, that's brutal. Okay. Yeah. That's really bad. So I am going to go out on a limb and say probably... See, if I had the casino seer, that definitely would have been the case. But nah, at this juncture, you probably definitely need to be using magic units, because this is not a winning scenario. I'll do that one more time and just see if we can improve that. Okay, her Enlightenment, Jolts, Hero Rising, and that. Just bash through it real quick and see if we can maybe increase that score. Last night was hitting in the 2 million range. Today, not so much. But then again, you know, these get harder. So I'm willing to bet by the end of... Probably by the end of this rotation, i.e. when we get to the boss level, this probably won't be a usable tactic. This tactic is probably going to be pretty well done. Okay, so actually, his resistance is down 0%. So long as we don't lose that physical down 25%, so long as we don't lose that, we're going to be good. So we'll make sure that stays in play. Okay, and Fire Thunder. Gotcha. We need to do this. We'll see how that goes. So that must be what it is. I lost my jolts last time. That happens. That's exactly what happened. Okay. So now everything. There we go. Strength Magic are all down 30%. Alright. And I have 2 turns to light attribute resistance down. That's not going to make a difference. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's see. All the buffs pretty much stay in place. So yeah, just double checking all my numbers because that 20% is not what I saw yesterday. So that should hopefully keep us down. You know what? I'm just going to play it safe. I'm going to do this one more time. Yeah, just to keep all that in play, we're going to do this one more time because the minimal amount of damage she's going to do isn't going to really be relevant. So let's just double check our work. Yep. All right. Let's see if we can get better numbers out of it this time. Let's see if we can at least break 1 million on this bad boy because that... All right. So everything's still down. We're going to drop 40%, which will be a nice hit. And then everybody's buffs and debuffs stay in place. Excellent. And his debuffs stay in place. Excellent. I know we could use Argonaut and Krazo to keep all those debuffs in place, but I'm going to be real. There we go. Perfect. Doing the super is going to produce more damage, in my opinion. So I think this is just a better way to go about that. Now, again, those are singular attacks, and I'm kind of treating them like an AoE because typically this would be an AoE situation. But they're also supers, so, you know, they're going to do what they're going to do. All right. So finally, while everything is down here, debuffs being what they are, everything is golden, we are going to go ahead and do these special arts. Here we go. Wish me luck. Maybe we'll get something a little nicer out of this. Okay. Once again, it is our bonus time, so it is a good time to be going about this. Bada bing, bada boom. Ooh. Okay. So that was the end of that. So we didn't actually get to test the bonus. That's okay. That's all right. At least we beat him. It's going to affect my score, but yeah. So I would say by the point that we're at in this game, it probably is not worthwhile to pursue physical. You may want to go build a magic team. Unfortunately, I've tried and my magic units are garbage. So yeah, see. Well, see, my score's not too bad. So there you go. I'm 4th in my Familia. So should be number 1, but it's a thing sometimes. So this is the 3rd round. This is the round I was talking about. Now she debuffs magic and magic resistance, buffs her magic and earth resistance, and removes magic buffs with an AoE attack. So, AoE magic attack. So, now you know all the rounds. Now you know everything that's going on. Let me know if you have any comments in the comments section down below. Other than that, guys, that is going to be the video. Make sure you do all your runs. Make sure that you're going through this and that you're able to, because you can see down there it says restore 2 passes by playing. Basically, as soon as I go through and I play some of my other rounds today, it'll restore those 2 passes, and I'll do those when our other bonus is in effect. But that's it, guys. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow my Birdman, hit me up on Booker. I'll be back at you guys with more Danmachi here in a little bit. Just a little bit. Pretty soon.